Hey guys, I am so excited to introduce another witchy podcast on our channel. We have collaborated and we are showing a clip of each other's trailers at the beginning of our episodes. So here it is from That Witch Life podcast.
3 childhood friends dabbled in magic and then scattered to different parts of the world. 20 years later, they're back in their hometown, but now they're full-time witches, witching it for real.
Nope, it's not a show on the WB. We are Courtney, Hillary, and Kanani, the hosts of That Witch Life podcast.
We are actual witches talking magic, spells, magical mishaps, weird witchy stories, and spooky pop culture. Plus, we interview guests from the witchcraft world. New episodes every Monday, available wherever you get your podcasts.
That Witch Life podcast, your home for living as a witch in today's world.
So mote it, witches.
So mote that.
I know River and I enjoy their podcast so much, and we love to be able to do these types of things where we show off each other's podcasts on each other's channels. I feel like us witches have to stick together, so we are so excited that we got to do this. So now let me just say we're back to our normal scheduled programming.
All right. Welcome to episode 15 of C3 Crystals, Cauldrons, and Cocktails. I'm River.
And I'm Wren.
And today we're going to talk about candles and candle magic. But first, what are we drinking? And this week we're drinking different things.
Yes, so before I say what I'm drinking, I'm going to preface that this episode
That
will
we've
be
been drinking?
shorter, maybe, because I am on vacation, and so it's going to be a really short episode, and I'm at the beach with my husband, and I'm drinking a pina colada.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I am not on vacation, which is no fair, but I am drinking a dirty martini, and it's yummy.
That doesn't sound as good as a pina colada.
Well, I'm not on the beach. Pina coladas are for the beach. I'm jealous.
Yes, you better be.
Okay, so Candle Magick.
Yes, so first, Candle Magick is derived from fire magic, which you're probably like, duh, like
It's fire.
Yeah, but it's an important key factor in candle magic. So please don't burn anything down, okay?
You know, for some reason, I think she's like directing that at me.
Yes, but says me, who set a potato on fire when I was younger.
You told me that story. That cracks me up.
I'm going to blame it on my father because I told him, I was like, hey, I'm microwaving a potato. How long should I leave it in there for? And he told me 15 minutes, and it was one potato, and it was literally charcoal, and it had a burning ember on the middle of it when we found it.
That is hilarious.
Yep. So, fire magic and candle magic give the energy and change to anything it interacts with. Mm-hmm. It changes your, like, for example, like a paper spell, like you wrote something on a piece of paper, like a spell on a piece of paper, and you burn it, or it changes the string spell. And I'm not quite sure what this one's called.
I've never heard of a string spell.
I know that there's probably a different name for it. I call it string spell. But you take 2 candles, and it's like cutting ties with somebody, and you intertwine the string, and you give one candle an intent of or a person, and then another candle. So, like, let's say you're going through a bad breakup, and your ex is psychotic and won't let go of you, so you can do this. I call it string spell. I know there are other words and phrases for it, to burn your ties. And you can see how it reacts. And that is a different type of witchcraft. So I would say to be very, very specific, do your research, and maybe not even do it at all if you're unexperienced. I've never done one. I probably will never do one. But I know that that is something that you do with candles.
Never heard of that. I thought I had at least
it's very strong.
Heard of stuff. That's interesting.
I've researched a lot about them, and some of the reactions in some videos that I have watched are very strong, and you can tell that there's like a strong tie. Like the example I gave you, an ex is not letting you go, psychotic ex. You can tell when the flames go through the string. You can tell how the candles burn, of how extreme whatever the emotions are going on in that situation.
When you get back from vacation, you should do a blog post about that, because that's fascinating to me.
Maybe I should.
Yeah.
And so no matter what it is that you're doing with the candle, the fire, it is a chemical change that accelerates the action of what you are doing.
Yeah, I've got some on that a little bit later, too.
Yeah. So, fun fact, I thought this was actually really cool. Everyone who has ever blown a candle out on their birthday and has made a wish on that candle has done Candle Magic. Mm-hmm. And so, to all the people who are against witchcraft and magic, I know they just shook and shivered and they don't know why.
That's right. They've been practicing magic all along.
For their whole lives.
But you're right that candle magic is one of the easiest magics to practice. I mean, blowing out the candles on a cake is basically candle magic. And like Wren said, candle magic is also driven by the element of fire, which represents transformation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like you said, fire changes everything it interacts with, whether it's turning a love letter to ashes, like you were talking about burning the paper.
Yes.
Or even making water boil when you're making macaroni and cheese on the stove. This is transformational energy. And that's what you're channeling with candle magic.
Yeah, for sure.
And it encourages and accelerates changes in your life. So you need to be extremely... It's one of the easiest types of spells to do, but it's also one of the most dangerous types of spells to do as far as the manifestation.
Yes.
Because it is a fast acting spell generally, and it can accelerate changes in your life. So be very clear.
Specific. Specific,
That's
clear.
the word, specific. Yeah. So before casting your spell, you need to think about what it is you're wanting to manifest. And then that you're not done. You don't just say, oh, I know what I want, and go for it. No.
Yeah.
Write it down. Reread it. Clarify that meaning so that, I think we've talked about this before. We see those shows with the genie where you make the wishes and they twist
There's
your
always
words.
a twist to it.
What was that movie, that horror movie? The Wishmaster, something like that, where, I wish for $1 million and this guy's grandmother died in a plane crash.
You have to be very specific.
Yes.
I have actually seen, I don't know where, but somebody had asked for money, but they weren't specific as to where it came from, and it ended up being from their father. Their father had a terrible accident.
Aww.
And they gained all of their father's money because they left it to this person in his will. And so it's just like, you wanted money, and I hope that it was worth it on casting that spell because you weren't so specific.
I feel
you have to be careful.
Not only should you be careful, but I'm wary of asking for money in that way
in general.
Anyway. Yeah.
I could see that, but there are some people who are like, I want money, and aren't so
if it worked,
careful.
If it worked that way, then we would all be rich, but it doesn't work that way. There are consequences.
Yeah. And I would say, like, when I do my manifestations, I don't cast spells. I do my manifestations. I journal. I don't say, I am going to win $1 million.
Right.
I say something along the lines of, my hard work will pay off.
Yes.
Not, I will get money because I've worked hard. No. My hard work will pay off. And however that hard work pays off, it will pay off for me and my benefit and what I need in life.
Yeah, it's very crucial to think it through.
Yes.
So the most basic candle magic spell is to simply visualize your goal, say a sentence, light a candle to release the energy. Mm-hmm. It's easy. It's also inexpensive. I mean, candles are not super expensive.
Yeah.
So there's no reason not to get it right, not to take the time to be careful.
Yes.
Because it is easy. It's not like it's a 7-day spell with all these complication things in it where you're trying to rush through part of it because you're tired. There is no reason not to get it right with a candle spell.
Yeah, for sure.
Choose the candle's color carefully. Pick one that corresponds with the nature of your goal. You may want to place relevant crystals, herbs, or flowers around your candle to amplify the energies before casting your spell.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to delve deep into what the colors mean.
Yeah.
So what do the colors mean? So a white candle, you can practically substitute a white candle for any color.
Yeah, I agree.
But generally it promotes serenity.
Can you all hear that? Can you hear that out there on the beach through my microphone?
Only a little.
Oh my Lord.
Only a little. So white promotes serenity and peace and enhances personal strength and insight, where black is for psychic protection, and you can also use black for, what is it? I can't think of the word. I'll get back to y'all. I'll post it on Instagram or something. I can't think of the word right now.
You might remember before we're done.
And green helps bring your ideas to life and amplifies prosperity. Where blue connects with your chakras and any emotional wounds and healing. And before I go on in the colors, there are multiple meanings to the colors.
Because I think of white as being protection.
Yeah.
But like you said, white can go for anything.
White can be substituted for anything, but also white is known for purity. It's known for... Any color is known for a lot. Yes. So just take this with a grain of salt.
Well, and your magic is personal to you. So white is going to mean something different to different people.
Yes. I'm going to ask, did I say that phrase correctly?
What
Take
phrase?
It with a grain of salt.
You did.
I always get them wrong. And
guys, she is so funny. I have never met anybody that does this. Those idioms that you hear, she does not get them right. I mean, she mixes them together, and I'll be going, what?
What do you, like, River will look at me and she's just like, what are you trying to say? And I'm just like, you know, I'm saying it right.
Y'all, she said, I'm going to do that in the lick of time. And I was like, what?
I really thought it was the lick of time.
I'm not laughing at you.
The lick of time.
It's nick of time.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's the nick of time, but
she knows
for some
it now.
reason, growing up, my parents failed me. So,
back to the colors.
So yellow enhances your networking and social skills, bringing in new career opportunities. So you could try keeping this one on your desk and unlit or lit, I would say.
Okay.
So red encourages love, sex, passion, obviously.
Obs.
Yeah, obviously. And then pink is the one for romance. Placing a pink candle by your home's doorway will welcome in love. And I would say romance can be taken as a friend romance, as a love romance.
A bromance, man.
A bromance. Wow. And purple is used to boost your spiritual enlightenment and creativity. And I would agree with that one a lot. Mm-hmm. So orange also encourages your ambition and helps you broaden your horizons. And brown helps with all things relating to your resources. So health, energy, possessions, pets, endurance, courage.
I think of it as grounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And note that in many pagan, wow.
Good pina colada.
Yeah, very. Note that in many pagan traditions, wow. I'm trying to restate something that I've already said like 3 times. It is acceptable to use a white candle in place of any other color. I've already said that, but I'm just trying to say where it comes from. And obviously, my tongue did not want me to communicate
And we're
properly.
not even drinking what was our drink last week?
Something
or the week
blue.
before, something. It must have been a couple
tongue
weeks.
twister.
Yeah, some kind of tongue twisters. So you can use the candles according to what you need for whatever spell you're casting, other than color. So think beyond the color as well. I recommend soy or other plant wax candles if you can. They're environmentally friendly. The wax doesn't burn very hot, so if you spill some on yourself,
Wow.
like I do, no harm will be done.
Good for you.
I know. I have got fire issues, I'm telling y'all. Okay. So to create more complex candle magic, other than just lighting it, thinking your intention, that kind of thing, you do what's called dressing the candle. Mm-hmm. And you've probably heard of this,
Yes.
but it's very important. Your aim is to create a spiritual link to the candle, yourself, and your goal. So you rub oil on your candle, which it can be any oil, like almond oil, coconut oil. If you're an essential oil fan, which I know Wren is,
I do.
she likes essential
Yeah, I like
oils.
them.
You can mix those in too. Or you can go with grapeseed oil that has no smell, which is more what I like.
Oh, you would like that.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of scents. But you rub your candle from top to bottom. You can draw things, or you can go from bottom to top. There's all kinds of different traditions in how you can dress your candle. You can begin at the top, rub the oil down to the middle, begin at the base, and then rub the candle up towards the middle, ending where the first coat was. Mm-hmm. Or you can do it the opposite, or you can start in the middle and work your way towards the two ends. Mm-hmm. It's just however you want to do it. Focus on the goal and mentally pour that vision into your candle as you're handling it.
Yeah.
Chanting works. Mm-hmm. You may feel your hands start to tingle or get warm, which is a good thing. That means it's working. Mm-hmm. Vibes are flowing. The magic is getting in there. You continue dressing the candle for a couple of minutes until you feel like it's charged. And that you just kind of get a feeling where you kind of feel it.
Yeah.
That's the way I cook.
The energies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I cook until it looks right.
I cook that way too, where I'm like, my husband will be like, oh my gosh, you have to make this again for me. And I know I've probably said this before. You have to make it again for me. I'm like, I can't.
Don't
like,
know
not
what I
exactly
did.
the same way. Like, I know what ingredients I put in it, but I can't make it the exact same way that you're having it.
That's how I cook
It's
too.
exactly like that.
You can also scratch names, numbers, symbols, or anything into your candle, anything that's relevant to your spell. There's actually a place in New York, and I can't remember the name of it, but they have classes where you can go in and make your candles to prepare for spell casting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so cool.
That is cool.
If I think about it, I'll try to put it in the website or something.
Yeah.
And then you cast your spell. Okay, so there's infinite number of ways. Magic is personal to the user,
Yep.
but I've come up with a couple.
Okay.
So you take a few deep breaths, you release your tension, you visualize your thoughts drifting away from you, clear your mind. You visualize your goal. You think about it as if it's already happened and imagine how your life would be once this goal is attained.
Yes.
So you see it completed. Mm-hmm. When you have a clear mental picture, you repeat your chant, song, poem, whatever it is, out loud. Well, you don't have to do it out loud, but that's one way. Mm-hmm. When you feel almost full of that energy and positive vibes, then you light the candle.
Okay.
You stare at that candle flame. You look at the candle's aura, the part outside the actual flame.
Yep.
And you visualize it getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it fills the room.
Okay.
You imagine it expanding beyond the room into the universe, sending out that signal to bring your intention to you. You hold this in your mind as long as you can. And when you feel like your energy is starting to wane or you're getting distracted, you blow out the candle and then you're done.
Okay.
Now, I bet a bunch of people listening to this just went, because it also is a common thought not to ever blow out a candle. because you blow your intentions away.
Oh, I see that. But I've also learned different. Where you blow your intentions into
the universe.
the flame, blowing it out, but that thus then releases it out.
Into the universe.
And I do know where you let the flame burn, you let it burn out by itself, because then your intention is solidified.
Some spells do require the candle to burn all the way down.
All the way, yeah.
You know, there are certain spells that do that, but some witches snuff out they never blow it out. They snuff it out with a tool or their fingers, or they let it burn out. So just something to keep in mind. The second way is you could just start by this one takes more time. You place the candle in your cleansed altar, which we talked about last week or the week before.
Yeah.
And you return to it at roughly the same time each night. You meditate on your desire until the candle is complete, or for a certain number of nights. And you keep an eye on the flame to observe how it behaves during this. And you journal this like you do in your journal. Mm-hmm. You can also layer other meanings into it by carving the symbols, runes, sigils, and putting oil on them. Like I said before, this is another way that uses the same thing that I talked about before. You can combine symbolic meanings if you're wanting to do more than one thing. Just think carefully. It's hard enough to do a simple candle spell, but when you start layering other meanings into it, it can get tricky, and it can be dangerous.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the third way, which is the way I have done my candle magic, is I like to burn my intentions in the candle and let the smoke take it out to the universe.
Yeah.
So I'll pick a color of paper that represents what I'm wanting in addition to the color of the candle. And then I write my spell on it physically, which I love to use special pens for.
Yeah.
White paper also works. Like you said, with the white candle can substitute, white paper can substitute.
Yeah.
And then you burn it in the candle flame and drop the remnants into your charging dish or your cauldron or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody practices differently, and which is as it should be. That's what makes witchcraft so beautiful.
It's amazing.
So take as much of these techniques as you want as for inspiration, but change them up and do it your own way.
Yeah, I like that. And I'm looking at our notes, and I think that I missed out a chunk of mine.
Oh.
But it's okay. I remember. So
Okay.
when picking like the size of your candle, size in this instance matters because
You almost made me spit out my drink.
oh, sorry.
It went up my nose. Oh, I love
Size
it.
doesn't always matter, but when it comes to spell casting and candles, it does.
Okay, I'm not going to comment.
Because when you're spell casting, and like if you're not going to blow it out, like you were talking about, you want it to be able to melt all the way, and you don't want a candle that lasts 48 hours, or even 24 hours. If that's
because you
what
don't
want.
want to leave a candle unattended.
Yeah, so you would
Right.
want one of the smaller candles that burn within at least 3 hours, that at least are fast burning. You don't want one that'll last that long.
Birthday candles are actually
They're perfect.
perfect for some spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they last not even 20 minutes, and that's exactly what you need it for in
Yep.
that time.
Yep.
So I don't know where I had that in my notes, or if there was just some miscommunication. But when
I feel like I saw it.
when talking about candles and candle magic and performing candle magic, you want to take in consideration the size of your candle, the color of your candle, your intent with the candle, and everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, and there are some spells are best with, like you said, a birthday candle. Some are best with a pillar candle, the tapered pillar candles.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
Some, like the 7-day spells, you need a bigger candle that's going to burn for the 7 days.
Yeah.
Which I am not up to that level of magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have some of those candles. I haven't used them for spell work at all. Maybe like lighting them to cleanse my space, lighting them to enjoy my space, or just have like that feeling, that energy in my space from the flame.
They make these birthday candles that last for years. You burn them on the day of your birthday, and it burns. They're made to last one day. Each part of the candle, and the candle is huge. So you burn the candle on this birthday, and it burns down to the next birthday, and then the next year you burn the candle again.
That's really
very cool. Yeah,
I might have to invest in one of those.
Yeah,
I like the idea of going, I get to burn, like, I'm just going off color, but I get to burn the pink part this year, or I get to burn like the white part this year. That would be cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah.
So we're sorry this is a little bit shorter, but Wren's got to get back to her hubby and her vacation.
Yeah, it was short and sweet. And if you guys have any questions, just let us know. And you guys can find us at our, oh wow, I'm messing up again. So you can find us at C3 Witchy Podcast on all social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and then if you go to our website, www.c3witchypodcast.com, that's where you will find all of our links to our social medias, as well as our link to our Patreon, our link to our merch. And am I missing anything like I
don't
missed
think
last time?
so. Dragoncraft Creations has finally come through with some more merch, so I'm trying to get it posted onto our website with a link to their websites.
Yeah.
You can buy that.
Yeah.
Definitely support us. We need your help. And I guess we'll see you next time. Wren, you go back to your hubby. Tell him I say hi.
I will, and y'all will listen to us next week.
Yeah. What was it that I was supposed to say? See you next time?
Hear you next time.
Oh.
Nope.
It wasn't see you next
It
time.
wasn't hear you next time.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. It's we'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back.
Bye, guys.
Bye.